Guys, what if I say, if you follow a 500 calorie deficit daily in your energy demands for 2 months in a row, you can lose about 4 pounds of weight, that is 2 kilograms. Now, for those of you who are watching, you might be wondering, how did I come up with these numbers? So if you want to know about it, stick around and watch this video, guys, because I'm going to be talking about science regarding nutrition, science regarding metabolism, and how the body works regarding weight loss and weight gain. Because for most of the people, the goals will not be same. Some people might want to lose their weight, some people might want to gain weight. So it's absolutely vital we understand the science, because we need to optimize, or we need to plan these training methods or nutrition methods according to our needs, because we cannot follow somebody else's plan and hope that we can attain the level of physique, attain the level of fitness that they have, because our goals are different. So if you are someone who are looking to make a change in your lifestyle and get fit, this is the right video for you. Guys, my name is Akshay, and if you're watching this video, thank you. First of all, let me just thank everybody who liked, commented, and subscribed on my first video. It means a great deal to me. Guys, without wasting any time, let's just jump into the video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about the science regarding fitness. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorific deficit. If you want to gain weight, you have to be in a calorific surplus. So guys, if you're watching this, especially beginners, you'll be wondering, what is a calorific surplus? What is a calorific deficit? In order to understand it, we need to learn about some of these terms, guys. Without knowing about these terms, there's no way we can have a comprehensive outlook regarding this subject. So what are the terms? Let me just go through some of the terms so that you have an idea on what to expect from this video. So some of the terms that we'll be talking about are calories. What is a calorie and what makes up a calorie? Basal metabolic rate, total daily energy expenditure, activity level, stimulus. These are some of the important topics that we need to be covering in order to understand, in order to have a comprehensive outlook regarding fitness, because otherwise we will be going round in circles and we will not be making any kind of results. First thing that we're going to talk about are calories. What are calories? The calories are basically just unit of measurement of energy that we consume or expend. It is as simple as that. When we eat food, we consume calories, and when we do physical activity, or when our body is doing functions to keep us alive, or when we are doing exercises, we burn calories. So it is the net difference between these two, calorific burning and calorific consumption, that determines whether you gain or lose weight. That is the basic principle behind it. So it is absolutely important that we need to understand what makes a calorie in terms of consumption, because we need to be able to measure it. When we eat food, most of the food has these 3 macronutrients in them: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And it is the content of these macronutrients in the food that determines the calories in it. 1 gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories in it, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories in it. So now you might understand why people say we have to stay away from fat. It's nothing against fat, it's just that it's excessive in calories. Now that we know how to measure the calories that we consume, it is important that we know the way to measure the calories we burn also, because we need to have data on both sides of the equation to comprehensively understand the whole scenario. To know about the calories that we burn, we need to know about this term. And the term is called MET. It is called metabolic equivalent for task. For example, if we run for 60 minutes, there is a fixed rate for MET, and that will be multiplied with this ratio of 60 minutes, and that will determine the amount of calories that you burn. You can see the equation behind me, and you can figure it out. It's not important that you understand the equation or go that in depth into this. What basically matters is that you understand the whole concept of energy burning and energy consumption. Alright, so the next important topic that we are going to be covering is activity level. What is activity level and why is it so important to measure it? You can see the detailed description or the definition for activity level behind me. So why is it important? Because in order to calculate the amount of calories that we burn, it is absolutely vital to understand the activity level of each individual, because different people will have different activity levels. Some of you might be working in offices, some of you might be doing manual labor, some of you might be doing nothing. So it's absolutely important that we have a track on the activity level, so as to make this comprehensive decision on how much calories that we should be eating or burning, and what are the adjustments to be made. Okay guys, so now that we're over calories, it is important that we get into our next topic, and it's called BMR, basal metabolic rate. So what is BMR? It is the amount of energy that is required to sustain your bodily functions. So it's basically the calories that are necessary for you, irrespective of your activity level, irrespective of what you're doing. You need to consume this many calories so that your body functions will not be harmed. Guys, the process of tracking BMR I'll be explaining at the end of the video, because we will be going through a plan to lose weight or gain weight depending upon your goals. At the end of the video you will know how to calculate BMR. Now that we know about calories and basal metabolic rate, BMR, it's time to pull all this together and see what the inferences are. Point of all this is that we need to devise a plan for weight loss or weight gain. So in order to do that, we need to understand our total daily energy expenditure. We are coming into the stage where we can actually devise the plan now. We talked about calories, we've talked about BMR, basic metabolic rate, we've talked about TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, and we talked about activity level. With these four principles or terms in our mind, we are ready to devise a plan. Let's just talk about this concept called maintenance calories. What are maintenance calories? Basically, it's the amount of calories that's required to maintain your body weight at the current level. So if you consume this many calories, you will not be losing any weight, you will not be gaining any weight, you will be staying the same. So it's absolutely important to know about the value of maintenance calories, so that you can make tiny adjustments in both ends of the spectrum according to your goals. So if you want to gain weight, you can add a little more calories on top of your maintenance calories, and that will help you to gain weight. If you want to lose weight, you need to reduce the calories from your maintenance calories, and that will help you lose weight. Okay guys, so like I said, I promise that at the end we will go through this together and try to figure out a plan for ourselves. So I'm going to use myself as the example and try to figure out my calorific needs. Right now my goal is to lose weight and build muscle. So I'm going to show you how I am devising a plan for myself, so you can take tips from this and do it for yourselves. We just open Google and type BMR calculator. We open up the first website that comes up. It's called calculator.net. You can see the calculator there with some of the metrics that you should be entering in order to get the actual values of your BMR. The first thing is age. I'm going to enter my age there. I am 29 years old, so I'm going to enter that. The next thing that you need to enter there is your gender. I'm a male, I'm going to enter that. Then your height, enter your height and your weight. It's as simple as that. Just enter all these details and click calculate, and that will show you your BMR. For me, it is 1848 calories per day. So that is the amount of calories that I'm burning at rest. Now that I have found my BMR, it is time to determine my activity level to calculate how many calories I burn in a day. So the total daily calorie expenditure is the sum of BMR and energy burned depending upon the activity level. The great thing about this website is that it's just not just a calculator, but it offers a lot more information, as you can see. So the next line, it says daily calorie needs based on activity level. So there are different activity levels mentioned there, and the calorie needs depending upon those activity levels. For example, if you are sedentary with little or no exercise, you would require 2217 calories a day. If you're someone who does exercise 1 to 3 times a week, you would require 2540, and so on. As you can see, the last one, it's very intense exercise, daily or physical job. you'd require around 3510 calories. Depending on my daily activity level, I burn around 500 calories a day. You can track it using your phone or a smartwatch. So my total daily energy expenditure is approximately around 2350 calories. My goal right now is to lose fat and gain muscle. So I will be devising a calorific deficit plan for myself, which means I can eat around 2050 calories a day for a 300 calorie deficit. I can create the deficit by either burning more calories or consuming less calories. For muscle gain, I ensure that I do not create a big deficit and do some kind of resistance training and eat enough protein to minimize muscle loss. In the beginning of the video, if you remember, I said we can lose about 4 pounds of weight in 2 months if you follow a calorific deficit of 500 calories. To understand that, let's look at how calories and fat is correlated. To lose 1 pound of fat, we need to burn 3500 calories. So if you follow a deficit of 500 calories daily in a week, we can burn 3500 calories, which is equal to 1 pound of fat every week. So in that case, we can burn 8 pounds of fat in 2 months, which is almost 4 kilograms of fat, which is a very realistic goal. It is very important to understand that 1 pound of fat makes a huge difference to the body. So by 8 pounds, we are talking about a major transformation. And for gaining weight, we need to follow the exact opposite approach. Then as you come down, there is another section where it says BMR variables. That is a very important section, guys. The first one is very important, guys. It's muscle mass. So what it says there is this: aerobic exercises such as running or cycling have no effect on BMR. However, anaerobic exercises such as weightlifting indirectly lead to a higher BMR because they build muscle mass, increasing resting energy consumption. This is very important, guys. So what we can infer from this is that the more muscles that you have in your body, the more calories that your body will be burning. So your goal should always be to build more muscles. That will actually help you lose fat in the long run. So many people, when they start, they will say that, I would just want to lose my fat, I don't want to build any muscle. It doesn't work like that, guys. You try to build muscle and you'll lose fat along the way. I think that is a win-win situation for everybody, right? Rather than trying to lose fat first and then building muscle, you can do it both at the same time. There are people who do body recomposition where they reduce their fat and gain muscle mass at the same time. You can also be one of them. So after watching this video, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that you need to be having a very scientific driven, high quality plan for whatever your goal is. You need to have scientific in-depth knowledge regarding nutrition and metabolism. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point of following somebody else's workout, no point of following somebody else's diet plan, thinking that that will work for you, because their goals are extremely different. So now that you have all this information with you, it's up to you to determine your plan, whether you need to lose weight, whether you need to gain weight, or if your goal is to gain muscle and lose fat. I have not talked about gaining muscle in any part of this video, guys. Another topic that is very important in the spectrum of total weight loss or weight gain is stimulus. So why is stimulus so important? For most of the people, when they say they want to lose weight, they will mean fat. Nobody would want to lose muscle mass from their body. And when people say they want to gain weight, most people would say muscle mass, because they would want to gain fat in their body. Muscle hypertrophy is important for most people, and that is where stimulus comes into play. So depending on all that we have mentioned and learned, there are actually 4 states that you can be in, and understanding these 4 states can make it all easy for everybody to remember. What are these 4 states? First state, calorific surplus with no training. As in this state, you are eating a surplus of calories, which means that you will be gaining weight, and you're not training at all, which means most of the weight that you will be gaining will be in the form of fat. You will not be gaining any types of muscle at all. It will be minimal. So this is not a good state to be in. This is a complete no-no zone, and I do not recommend anybody to be in that state. which brings us to our second state. So the second state is calorific surplus with stimulus, proper stimulus or resistance training or any types of training. So this is the state where most bodybuilders are, most people looking to build muscles are. You are eating in a surplus, you are weight training, so most of the weight that you will be gaining, it will be in the form of muscle, but you will be gaining fat as well in this state. But as long as you are confident that you can cut this fat in a later stage of your training or your nutritional journey, it's okay. You can bulk, you can gain muscles, and you can cut it off later. So I would recommend people to be in this stage. It's fine. The third stage is calorific deficit with no training. So this is a state where you are eating less than your total daily energy expenditure or your maintenance calories, eating less than that, so you're losing weight. So in this state you might be losing weight as fat or muscle mass. The problem with this state is that there is a chance that you might be skinny fat, where there will be very little amount of lean muscle mass in your body, and you will be having a little bit of fat, but you will lose fat also, but that will also be minimal. So this is also not a state that I recommend, but it's better than the calorific surplus with no training state. So this brings us to our last state, and this is the state I would recommend for most of the people, to be in a calorific deficit with proper training or stimulus. So what this does is, guys, it will help you lose fat. At the same time, it will not eat away from the lean muscle mass that you have. In fact, you might be able to gain muscle even if you eat the right amount of proteins. But we are not going to get into that in this video, guys. We'll keep it simple. Try to keep it simple as much as we can. I hope you take something away from this and start your journey towards fitness and a better lifestyle. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about the video, and comment what you want to see next from me. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.